Hey, how's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'd like to share with you my opinion about the cooking stove from MSR. It's the WhisperLite International, the model that I have in here. This uses regular gasoline from my motorcycle. So if you're interested or considering to buy this product, maybe stick around. I bought this with my own money. This is not a sponsored video, and I'll just share with you how has been my experience using this product. I have used this product now already for about 2 years. I have prepared a few meals, of course, a lot of coffee as well when I'm out traveling. And overall, I like it, but there are some negatives and some positives. And as we assemble everything and we go along, I'm going to share as it is so you can decide if it's a good option for you. But I think that the main advantage is that you can just use regular fuel, gasoline, petrol from your motorcycle. You could also argue that, well, if you fill up your motorcycle, then you also have a bottle in here. It gives you a little bit of extra mile, a few extra kilometers that you can ride. But let's be honest, it's a 500 milliliter bottle, a little bit more. So it's not really that much. So I wouldn't expect this to be your extra source of fuel. If you're thinking about doing a longer trip and you need to carry fuel to go in a place where there isn't really a lot of petrol stations, I don't think this would be the answer. Yes, you could add more bottles, but there are more efficient ways of doing this. What I would say is, if you find yourself in an emergency or another rider in an emergency, there is a little bit of extra fuel that just allows you to put yourself in a better position. But I wouldn't rely on that just to get extra mileage. One thing that you need to consider is that it creates a lot of soot. So it gets very dirty. Actually, you can see that mine I carry on a Ziploc bag. And the reason why I do that is because it gets very dirty. So just the way it burns, so you'll see here as I remove, so it's really black. So this should be all a metallic color, but mine is quite black, and all of this is soot. Now, it's not a big deal. I just think you have to consider this. Use a Ziploc, and I have here a small general case. That's a case I had at home to carry all of this, because it will get quite dirty. It is very compact, I would say. I can carry everything here on this case, but of course when you add the size of the bottle, this is not going to be the most compact way of carrying everything. There are some solutions that use a gas canister where you can just fit everything inside your cooking pot, so that's going to be much more compact, but again, you don't have the option to then use your gasoline on a separate bottle. Now, in order to start your fire, you need to pressurize the bottle. Okay, so on a separate Ziploc bag, you have a hand pump. So I'm gonna get this hand pump here out. And the reason why I carry this on a separate Ziploc bag is not to get dirty with the soot. Then you open the bottle. So that's very straightforward and simple. And then you fit this pump here inside. Now there is a little plastic tube. This plastic tube goes in first. And then you just have to find a way to screw in the hand pump, like this. And now you can pressurize it. To pressurize it, you just pump it. You will feel when it starts to get more firm. I would say it's about 30 to 40 pumps, but it really depends on how full the bottle is. If you fill it all the way up in here, there's a line that indicates how much you can fill it up. It's about 30 to 40 pumps. If it's quite empty, then it will take more. But in any case, you're going to feel that it gets firmer when you're pumping. I'd say that's enough. My bottle is full with fuel up to about half, and I have pumped about 60 times now. So the next thing we need to do is to now connect the cooking stove. There's this hose, this metallic hose. So we're going to connect this in here. And then you have this latch mechanism. So this latch, you push it to the opposite side, and then you can safely secure it here in place. So you see, so now I cannot pull this hose out. So that's a very smart system. I like the way it's quite simple, straightforward. Put it here on the ground. And the way you adjust the fire, you have now here this knob in here that you can twist to open the fuel. So let's put it here on the floor. Now the next step is going to be to prime your stove. To prime your stove, while we still have the gasoline in liquid form, we're going to open the knob a little bit. So we are going to allow a little bit of gasoline to accumulate here at the bottom. There is a little pan in here at the bottom. So you just get a little bit of fuel out, light it up on fire, and that's going to heat up the system. As this is happening, well, without going too much details, there's a little metal tube in here. So this metal tube is going to get heated up by the liquid gasoline that is on fire. Once this tube is up to temperature, has been primed, then we are going to open slowly the knob once again, and then the gasoline is going to get converted into gas. And at this point, you can start using your cooking stove. So let's do that. I'm just going to prime it and show to you how it's done. Included with your kit, you're also going to have this aluminum foil. I believe it's aluminum. And just for safety, that I'm going to put this here on the ground. So in case any gasoline would go to the ground, has never happened to me, so I find it to be quite safe, but it's just here to catch that. So here I have my lighter. So I'm going to do now, I'm going to open the fuel a little bit, and right here, some fuel is going to get inside. So just watch it. So there it is. I got some fuel here at the bottom pan. Now I'm going to light it up. Have of course, the bottle a little bit far away from your fire. Now, that's now starting to prime, so just let it burn. Now, I'd say about 40 seconds have passed, and now the flame is starting to go down, so I'm going to start opening the bottle. Do it slowly, and you are going to hear, hopefully you can catch this on the video, that there's like a gas sound now. So that's the fuel turning into vapor, into gas, and then the flame is going to change colors. Instead of being an orange flame, a red flame is going to turn blue. So that's it. Now we can already use it. Included with this kit, you also have this cover. It's just a metallic sheet that you can build around your cooker, and that is good if you want to increase the heat transfer. So instead of the heat getting lost here on the side, if you put this around, it's going to help to heat up your food, your water faster. I'm not going to use it for now because I just want to make some coffee, but just that you know, this is also included. So now I'm going to take my pot, just put it here on top. It is quite stable, as you can see here. That wouldn't really tip over, but straightforward. That's about 200 milliliters of water, so it's not a lot. Let's put some coffee in here. So I expect this to heat up quite quickly. In probably less than a minute, it's already up to temperature. But that's because I have only 200 milliliters, of course. So it is already boiling, so it's extremely fast. That took about 1 minute, and you can also adjust the flame by opening or closing the knob here at the bottle. If you're cooking for a long time, then the pressure is constantly going down, so you may need to give a few more pumps, and you can do that while the product still being used. It's not as easy because the pump is in an awkward place, but you can still do it. But for most people, I think you're just heating up some water, and that's going to be enough, the initial pumps that you put. Now, when it's time for you to shut it off, I have a few tips here for you. Just take your time. So don't shut it off, and then as soon as the flame is out, you already start disconnecting. Just take your time. Here on this hose, I find that usually there is a little bit of gasoline that always remains in there. So if you go straight away and you just start disconnecting, you are going to lose some gasoline here on the ground, and you don't want to do that, especially for your safety if there is some fire around. So what I recommend to do, shut it off and just then go enjoy your coffee, your meal, and then later you come and you disconnect everything. I still find that in most times a little bit of gasoline stays trapped inside of the hose, and then you end up spilling a little bit. So just keep that in mind. It is a negative, but you can easily work around that. So that's it. That's pretty much my opinion. I'm happy with the purchase. It's not cheap, let's say like this. It costs more than $100 to get this kit, but I think it's worth the money for the way I like to ride and the way I like to prepare my coffee and my food. If you still have any questions after watching this video, just drop here a comment and I'll reply to you based on my experience as a motorcyclist. That's it. Hope you enjoyed, and now I go to enjoy my little coffee break. Bye bye.